Welcome to this life-changing video. Today, we're not just talking about decisions. We're talking about your entire life. Because your life is nothing but a series of decisions. Every friend you made, every job you took, every mistake you regret, and every success you're proud of, all of them started with one thing. A decision. So today, I want to teach you something that will change your future forever. Something that will help you make the right decision every single time. This video is not for people who want shortcuts. It's for people who are ready to take control of their mind, their emotions, their time, and make decisions like powerful, focused, unstoppable people. Let me ask you something. Have you ever made a stupid decision late at night, agreed to something just to avoid overthinking, or bought something random and regretted it the next day? That's not because you're weak. It's because of something called decision fatigue. Imagine your brain has a battery. Every time you make a decision, even a small one, that battery goes down. What should I wear? What should I eat? Should I reply to this message? Should I watch one more video? Should I check my ex's profile? Should I speak up or stay quiet? Each of these choices drains your energy. And when your battery is low, you start making bad decisions. Not because you're bad, but because your brain is tired. A real-life study on judges in court showed that people who appeared early in the day had a much higher chance of getting parole, while people who appeared late in the day, after lunch, got almost no chance. Why? Because the judges were tired. Their brains said, "Let's play it safe. Just say no." That's decision fatigue in real life, and it's silently ruining your life. To make the right decisions, you need a clear mind, a full battery, a strong system, and a few powerful rules. The first one is simple. Automate the small and focus on the big. You don't need to make 50 decisions every day. That's a trap. That's how your energy dies. Smart people automate. Powerful people simplify. Steve Jobs wore the same outfit every day. Why? To avoid wasting brain power on something that doesn't matter. You don't have to do the same, but you can make your life easier by automating small things like your morning routine, your meals, your clothes for work, your night routine, your workout schedule, or your study hours. Every time you remove a small decision, you gain more power to make the right big one. Imagine your brain has a limited number of good decisions per day. Don't waste them on choosing cereal or shirts. Save that power for real choices, whether to quit your job, end a relationship, or take a new opportunity. That's how you become a powerful decision maker. Take a deep breath and look around your life. Ask yourself, what decisions am I making every day that don't even matter? Remove them. Automate them. Simplify them. Because the real battles of life are not about your breakfast, they're about your future. Tip 2. Choose long-term peace, not short-term pleasure. Most people make decisions for quick happiness. They want to feel good right now, so they pick the easiest path. They eat junk, quit early, spend money they don't have, or stay in toxic relationships just to avoid loneliness. But here's the truth. Short-term pleasure often creates long-term pain, while long-term peace often comes from short-term discomfort. When you choose what feels easy now, You're borrowing happiness from your future self. But when you choose what's right now, you're gifting peace to your future self. Imagine two friends, Ryan and Leo. Both want to start a business. Ryan spends his nights watching shows, scrolling, and relaxing because he says, "I'll do it tomorrow." Leo spends his nights studying, working, and saving money while his friends go out. For a few months, Ryan feels happy and Leo feels tired. But a year later, Leo's company grows while Ryan is still saying, "Someday." That's the difference between pleasure now and peace later. Before any big decision, ask yourself, will this give me peace in 1 year or just pleasure tonight? If it gives you peace, it's the right decision. If it only gives you pleasure, it's a trap. Real peace always beats temporary pleasure. Tip 3. Use the 10-10-10 rule before every big decision. This simple rule can protect you from emotional mistakes for the rest of your life. Whenever you face a tough decision, pause and ask yourself 3 questions. How will I feel about this in 10 minutes? How will I feel about this in 10 months? How will I feel about this in 10 years? In 10 minutes, you might still be emotional. In 10 months, that emotion will fade. In 10 years, only the consequence of your choice will remain. This rule helps you zoom out and see the bigger picture. You're angry at your best friend and want to send a harsh message. But if you stop and ask, how will I feel about this in 10 minutes, 10 months, and 10 years? You'll realize that in 10 minutes you'll feel proud you didn't react. In 10 months your friendship will still be alive, and in 10 years you'll thank yourself for staying calm. That's the power of distance. It separates emotion from wisdom. So next time you feel pressure to act fast, use the 10-10-10 rule. It will turn chaos into clarity and help you see your future before you destroy it. Tip 4. Never make decisions when you're tired, emotional, or it's late at night. Most people don't make bad decisions because they're stupid. They make them because they were tired, emotional, stressed, overthinking, or it was too late. You don't need a perfect brain to make good decisions, you just need the right moment. Imagine your brain is like a phone. When it's fully charged, it's fast, focused, and clear. But when it's below 10%, it freezes, lags, and shuts down. That's exactly what happens to your mind. Every little decision throughout the day, what to eat, how to reply, what to wear, whether to scroll or sleep, drains your mental battery. So when it's finally time to make a big choice, like whether to quit your job or forgive someone, your battery is already dead. And what happens when the battery is dead? You start thinking emotionally, not wisely. You say yes when you should say no. You say no when you should say wait. You panic, you break, you quit, you settle, and you shout. And the worst part is, you don't even realize it until the next morning. There's a reason people cry at night, send long emotional messages at 2 a.m., and think their life is over. It's not because it's true. It's because your brain at night is not your real brain. It's tired, foggy, and emotional. Have you ever made a big decision at night and the next morning thought, what was I thinking? That's the difference between a tired mind and a fresh mind. So what should you do when your emotions are high? Your body is tired. Your heart is racing. or your mind is cloudy. Do nothing. Pause, breathe, sleep, let the storm pass. Say this powerful sentence: I will not decide anything tonight. I will decide in the morning when I'm clear, calm, and strong. This one rule can save your relationships, your peace, your reputation, your goals, and even your future. Never trust your thoughts when your body is tired. Never trust your feelings when your mind is loud. Never decide when the world is dark. Wait for the sun, because the decision you delay today might save your future tomorrow. Tip 5. Don't make permanent decisions based on temporary emotions. Some people ruin their lives in 5 minutes because they couldn't control their emotions. A man shouts something he can never take back. A woman leaves a job she actually needed. A teenager blocks their parent in anger. A friend deletes years of memories over one fight. A person burns down their dream just because they felt lost for a few days. Not because they're bad people, but because they made a permanent decision during a temporary emotion. You are allowed to feel everything: anger, fear, sadness, confusion, loneliness, frustration, even rage. But never let a temporary feeling control a permanent action. All of it is human. All of it is okay. But here's the rule: feel everything, decide nothing. Why? Because emotions are like storms. They come, they shake you, and then they leave. But if you build something during a storm, a decision, a choice, a message, or a move, it will never be stable. You have a partner you deeply love. You share a strong bond. But one day, you fight badly. In anger, you say things you don't mean. You slam the door. You say it's over. You block them. You cry. You feel powerful. You feel hurt. 2 weeks later, you sit alone with a heavy heart. The emotion is gone, but the damage is still there. Now you're not angry, you're full of regret. All of this could have been avoided if you followed just one rule. Never make a forever decision during a temporary emotion. You have a job you've worked hard for. You're frustrated, overworked, and underpaid. One day, your boss says something that pushes you over the edge. You say, "I quit." You don't have a backup plan. You don't have savings. You leave, and it feels good for a moment. But weeks later, reality hits. Now you feel scared, lost, and regretful. Why? Because the decision was made during an emotional high, not with logical thinking. When the emotion is loud, sit still. When your heart is shaking, don't act. When the world feels broken, sleep. When you feel like reacting, respond by waiting. Use this rule like a command. If I feel strong emotions, I will not trust my brain. Wait 24 hours. Let your feelings settle. Let your logic return. Then decide. 1 second of silence can save you from 10 years of regret. 1 night of sleep can protect your entire future. 1 decision made with wisdom can change your whole life. So don't kill your destiny because of a mood. Your emotions are not your enemy, but they are not your compass either. Choose clarity, not chaos. Choose patience, not panic. Choose life, not impulse. Tip 6. Flip the decision. Pretend it's someone else's problem. Have you ever noticed something strange? When it's your problem, you're confused. But when it's your friend's problem, you suddenly know exactly what they should do. Why does this happen? Because when you're inside the problem, your vision is emotional. But when you're outside it, your vision is clear. That's why one of the most powerful tools for decision-making is this. Flip the situation. Let's say you're stuck in a difficult place. You're not sure if you should quit your job. You're not sure if the person you're dating is right for you. You're confused about whether to say yes to an opportunity. You're tired, scared, and afraid of making the wrong choice. At that moment, instead of thinking like you, imagine your best friend came to you and said, "Hey, I'm in this exact situation. What should I do?" Suddenly, you're not confused anymore. Your brain becomes calm. Your advice becomes clear. Your heart feels wise, because when it's not your emotion, you see the truth. Imagine your younger sister comes to you and says, "I'm with a guy who lies to me, disappears for days, but I love him. I don't know what to do." What would you tell her? You'd say, "Leave, you deserve better. Love isn't supposed to hurt like that." You'd say it immediately, without confusion or hesitation. But now imagine you're in that same relationship. You keep doubting, waiting, forgiving, hoping, and delaying. Why? Because your emotions are blinding you. When it was your sister's problem, you saw the answer in seconds. From now on, whenever you're stuck and can't see the right decision, pretend someone you love is in that same situation. Imagine they're asking you for advice. Whatever you would tell them, that's the truth you need to hear. It's not magic. It's not fake. It's just distance from your own emotion, and distance gives you wisdom. When you can't see clearly, change your perspective. When your feelings scream, listen to your logic through someone else's story. The advice you give to others is often the truth you're afraid to accept yourself. So next time your heart is loud and your head is lost, flip the question. Give yourself the love, clarity, and truth you'd give your best friend. That's the decision you were looking for. Tip 7. Create your personal rule and filter every decision through it. Here's the final and most powerful tip of all. If you follow this for the rest of your life, you will never be lost again. You cannot control the world. You cannot control every situation, every opportunity, or every person. But you can control how you make decisions by creating your own life rule or non-negotiables. These are your standards, your values, your compass, your invisible protection. And once you create them, you filter every single decision through them. Ask yourself, what are 3 things I will never compromise on in my life, no matter what? 1. I will only choose what gives me long-term peace. 2. I will never do something that destroys my mental health. 3. I will always stay honest, even if it's hard. Now, every time you're offered a job, a relationship, a risk, or an opportunity, you don't decide emotionally. You simply ask, does this pass my rule? If the answer is yes to all 3, you move forward with full confidence. If the answer is no to even 1, you walk away. No doubt, no regret, no confusion. This removes decision fatigue. You no longer have to ask 10 people for advice. You no longer get stuck overthinking. You no longer say yes to things that slowly ruin your life. You don't follow the crowd. You follow your core values. People who live like this are calm, unstoppable, focused, respected, and rare. They don't chase everything. They don't fear missing out. They know who they are and only do what matches that. Let's say you get a job offer, high pay, big title, but it involves working for someone who lies, manipulates, and drains your soul. Emotionally, it feels like a great opportunity. But when you apply your rule, it fails. It doesn't give peace. It damages your mental health. It goes against your values. So you walk away, and a year later, you'll be proud you did, because you didn't sell your peace for paper. You didn't trade your truth for temporary rewards. You chose strength. You chose clarity. You chose yourself. When the world pulls you in every direction, let your rule guide you. When everyone is chasing success, let your rule protect your peace. When your heart is confused, let your rule remind you who you are. Write your rule. Memorize it. Use it. And you'll never make a decision you regret again. Because strong people don't follow pressure. They follow their personal compass. Tip 8 say, know fast, so you can say yes with power. You don't need more options. You need more clarity. Most people say yes to everything because they don't want to disappoint others, fear missing out, or feel pressured to please. But every weak yes creates strong regret. When you say yes too easily, you end up in places you don't belong, surrounded by people who drain you, doing things that destroy your peace. For example, your cousin invites you to a weekend party. You're tired, behind on your goals, and need rest, but you feel guilty and go anyway. You return more tired and frustrated because you said yes out of guilt, not truth. Remember, if it's not a clear yes, it's a clear no. Saying no doesn't make you selfish. It makes you responsible. Protect your time, your energy, and your mission. Every yes means saying no to something else. Your rest, your health, your goals. People who say yes to everything end up with nothing. Those who say no to what's wrong make space for what's right. Say yes only when your soul agrees. It matches who you want to become. Tip 9. Your life is the result of the last 5 big decisions. Your life didn't just happen. It was built, decision by decision. Think about your last 5 major choices. The person you trusted, the job you took, the city you moved to, the habits you built or broke. Your peace, pain, and progress are all connected to those choices. This isn't bad news, it's power. Because if your past decisions built your current life, your next 5 can rebuild it too. You don't need luck or permission. You just need to decide differently. Take Alex, for example. 3 years ago, he stayed in a job he hated, dated someone dishonest, quit exercising, wasted time online, and rejected new opportunities. Now he feels stuck. But it wasn't fate. It was 5 decisions. If today he makes 5 new choices to quit the toxic job, end the wrong relationship, rebuild his health, remove distractions, and pursue learning, his next 3 years will transform. Life doesn't happen by accident. Every yes and every no designs your future. Your life is not built by luck, but by choice. Own your past decisions, learn from them, and make your next 5 choices powerful and intentional, because they'll shape your next 5 years. Tip 10. Ask, what would future me thank me for? Every decision you make today is either a gift or a burden to your future self. The pain you feel now often comes from the past version of you that didn't think ahead. Most people decide based on emotion. I'm bored, so I'll scroll, or I'm sad, so I'll eat more. But when tomorrow comes, they pay for today's decisions. Before making any choice, pause and ask, will future me thank me for this, or hate me for it? Imagine choosing between wasting your night watching videos or studying for an exam. Your tired mind says relax, but your future self, sitting in that exam room, would beg you to prepare. Listen to them. Your future self already knows the right choice because they've felt the regret or reward that follows. This isn't fear, it's self-love. Love yourself enough to protect who you'll become. Close your eyes. Imagine yourself 6 months from now and ask, what would that version of me beg me to do right now? Then do it. Don't betray your future. You don't just make choices, you make consequences. Say to yourself, I don't live for right now, I live for who I'm becoming. That one sentence can change your entire future. Tip 11. When in doubt, choose growth over comfort. Comfort is beautiful in small doses, but deadly in excess. When you make decisions only to feel safe, your life begins to shrink. You avoid challenges, stay in the wrong jobs or relationships, and protect your ego. But if a decision makes you nervous and excited at the same time, it's probably the right one. It's growth. Growth always feels scary before it feels powerful because it destroys your excuses and forces you to evolve. If you only choose what's easy, you'll live the same year 75 times and call it a life. Ask yourself, does this decision make me grow or keep me small? If it grows you, do it, even if it's hard. Don't chase comfort, chase change. Don't fear the stretch, fear standing still. Growth is the doorway to your future, and the right decision is often the harder one. But it's also the one that makes you stronger, wiser, and freer. Tip 12. Slow down when it feels rushed. Speed up when it feels right. Many people ruin their lives, not because they're weak, but because they're rushed. They get trapped by pressure. Act now, decide fast, don't miss your chance. But the right decision never comes from panic. It comes from peace. If someone is rushing you, pause. If your mind is racing, breathe. If it feels forced, wait. Fire is fast, loud, and dangerous. Water is calm, clear, and powerful. Make decisions like water. When it feels peaceful, it's right. When it feels pressured, it's a trap. Take your time when others want you to rush. And when your soul says, this is right, act with confidence. Your timing will protect your destiny. Tip 13. Remove options that shouldn't even be there. Sometimes the best decision isn't choosing between A or B, it's realizing neither is right. People stay stuck because they choose between two bad options. Should I stay in this toxic job or be unemployed? Should I stay in this relationship or be alone forever? They don't realize there's always a third path, the one your heart is afraid to imagine. You can walk away from both. You can wait, heal, rebuild, and create better options. For example, Mia has been in a painful relationship and keeps asking, should I stay or be alone forever? But her question is broken. The real answer is to heal, grow, and one day meet someone who truly sees her. If no option gives you peace, don't choose. Wait and create a new one. Ask yourself, am I choosing between fear and fear? What would I choose if I believed I deserved better? Sometimes the most powerful decision is to say none of the above and build something new. Your life is not built by luck or chance. It's built by tiny, invisible decisions made when no one is watching. Every time you choose peace over panic, growth over comfort, truth over pressure, and purpose over pleasure, you don't just make a better decision. You become a better person. So stop waiting. Decide with clarity, courage, and love for your future self. Because one powerful decision made with full truth can rewrite your entire story.